Alright, here's my setup getting ready to blend my first Trimix cylinder. So we come over here, I've got my O2 cylinder plumbed up to my transfuel, onto my transfuel adapter, and I've got my instructions written on the side of my tank. So this is going to be a Trimix, it's going to be 23% oxygen, 25% helium, up to 232 bar. So my first step is to drain the cylinder. So here the gauge is turned on and zeroed, and bleed is open, we're at atmospheric pressure. And to check the gauge, tank is open, tank is empty. We can now record on our tank that we have done that step. Bear with me. Drain to 0 bar. So the next step is going to be filled to 21.3% O2. So I can make sure closed atmosphere, valve is open, bleed valve is closed, and we can open the O2 cylinder. And gradually, and there we go. And I'm going to fill really slow. It's hard to hear because I have got my earphones in way too fast. There you go, nice and slow. I'll come back when it's up to pressure. I'll drive it up to about 22 because it will heat a bit, and then I'll turn it off for a while and let it settle. I'll come back. Okay, here we are, still filling with oxygen, just approaching up to 21% bar now, and aiming for 21.3, so I'll actually turn it off at about 22, and then we'll let it settle. So it's still filling nice and slow. Okay, so we'll shut off the oxygen and we'll let that settle for a while. In the meantime, I'll disconnect and I'll do the same to tank number 2. Alright, so I've done tank 1 drain and air. I recorded that the air was done, did that before. So we're back onto tank 1. Close that, just close that one, and we're aiming for that 21.3 now. It's stabilized and cooled down. Oh, 21.3. I've left it for around an hour because I had to go to work, so that is spot on. We'll leave that one alone. And I'll move it over to tank 2. Oh, it's hard with one hand. Bear with me. Oh. Can't believe I got that first tank spot on. Closed, closed, on 0. Tank 1. You might need a little more of a squirt. Oh, and we'll leave him there and I'll get set up for the helium. Sorry, before we do the helium, we will tick off that the add oxygen is done and healthy. And cylinder 1 through there. So now we need to add 58 bar of helium to each tank, which will bring that final pressure up to 79.3 bar, ready for air. So yeah, I'll turn off and I'll get it set up. Alright, so I'm now connected to my helium tank through my translip. I left it in tank 2, we'll do tank 2 first. Like I said, we've crossed off the fact that we've done the O2 and we've done the oxygen in both tanks. So now, close that one. That was left over to bleed the hose. Tanks close. Close the ambient one. And close that one. We'll make sure we've got pressure in the helium. So that's hose is empty. Turn on the helium cylinder. Oh, that's tight. There we go. 163 bar, more than enough for what we need to do. So I'll close that one, open that one. So again, we are running it up to 79.3. Get nice and slow again so I don't heat anything up. There we go, I'll come back when it's ready. Alright, again we're approaching the 79.3. I'll take it up to 80 just for it to cool down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 80 bar, 80.1. And we'll come to it after it settles. I'll swap over and do the same to the other side. Alright, now they've cooled, they've dropped to about 76. So I'm going to boost them back up to the 79, maybe 79, 78 again, see how they go. Alright, I've let them sit for about another hour. And it's come down a little bit, so I'm just going to give them another little bit of a squirt. But we're pretty close now, I only need another 0.5 of a bar. I'll do that and I'll be done. Alright, I've just double checked both cylinders and they're both balanced around the 79.5 bar mark after adding the O2 and the helium. And I've ticked off on the tanks that I've done the helium component. Now I'm going to take them to the shop and put the air in.